Good day, everyone. Before we proceed to our discussion for today, allow me to introduce to you our topic as well as the reporters for this discussion. The group 2, will discuss to you the continuation of the report of the group 1, which is we are going to discuss the other importance concept. So, in this topic, we have three subtopics. So, the first one is the other concept of development. The second one is the economics and the development studies. And lastly is the real meaning of development. So, in this discussion, we are more focused on development. So, here is the reporters for this discussion. First is Sir Dominic Barbara. He will be discuss to you the other concept of development. Second is Mom Stephanie Babor. She will be discuss to you the economics and development studies. And also, me, myself, and Mom Sheila, will discuss to you the real meaning of development. So, let's start. The other importance concept prepared by Group 2. So, here is our objectives. So, at the end of the discussion, students should be able to: number 1, to determine the concept of development. Number 2 is to discuss the different concept of development. Number 3 is to define and explain the economics and development studies. And lastly is students should be able to give an example and understand the real meaning of development.
Good day everyone, I'm Dominic Barbara from BSED 2C. The same topic that I will discuss to you is all about concept of development. So let us know what is concept of development. According to Society for International Development, it is a process that creates growth, progress, positive change, or the addition of physical, economic, environmental, social, and demographic components. In addition, the purpose of development is a rise in the level and quality of life of the population, in the creation of or expansion of local regional income and employment opportunities without damaging the resources of the environment. So sa madaling sabi, yung concept of development ay nakakatulong sa ating ekonomiya. Ito rin ay nakakatulong para pagandahin yung kalidad ng pamumuhay ng mga tao at nakapagbibigay pa ng mga oportunidad na makapagtrabaho yung mga tao sa isang lugar. Isa pa rito yung pag nakapagbibigay rin ito ng or naiaangat din ito yung ekonomiya ng isang region. Halimbawa itong Bicol region, mas napagaganda niya yung regional income natin. Next is different concept of development. So according to Marketing 91, concept of development is one of the essential and critical stages of new product development stage. The concept development consists of 6 different stages. So first is focus on customer needs. The initial phase of concept development starts with focusing on the needs of the customer. A detailed description of the project, including its idea, its benefits, and advantages for the customers, its feasibility from an economic point of view for the organization, and its return on investment for the organization should be chalked out. So, for example, before making a business, it is really important to know on what kind of product that they really need in order to be prepared on our business. Number 2, know your customers. It is essential to keep the customers in mind during the entire process of concept development. A detailed profile of the customer should be known before the starting of concept development. So dito naman sa number 2, knowing customer is also important on making a concept, especially in a business, because there's a time that our product is not essential or fit to other customer. Like, why would you sell a gravel and sand if you are a vendor inside the school campus? So obviously, ang ibebenta mo sa school campus, dahil vendor ka nga sa loob ng paaralan, is mga school materials like pen, papers, and etc. Hindi naman pwede na nagtitinda ka sa loob ng isang school campus tapos ang ibebenta mo pang hardware. Nakakatawa po yun. So sa number 3, competition analysis. A detailed and stepwise analysis of competition is necessary to understand how you can act in the market. So sa number 3, analyzing of market on making a concept development is important because it can give to us on how we interact, or it can give to us an idea on how we interact to our customers and other vendors in order to compete our own product. So sa competition of analysis ay may 5 step na gagawin. So yung una, competitor analysis. So what is competitor analysis? Competitor analysis is to classify your competition into different categories like primary, secondary, and so on. Next is advertising strategy. Should be studied and analyzed thoroughly to understand the extent of their marketing potential. So sa sa negosyo po baga, mas marami yung commercial sa TV tapos sa radyo para mas makilala yung produkto ng isang kumpanya. Distribution channel. A detailed study about their services that they use should be done. Next, or the 4th step, is supply. This analysis will help to understand the chain management of the competition. And the last is opportunities. It is help to identify the areas that are present in the market. Next is number 4. Composing the primary feature. One of the most crucial elements of your product as well as your business is to have the value proposition. Different tools like value proposition canvas can help you to define the hurdles that customers face and the plan to build the product. So dito naman po, it can give us an idea to point out or to know what problem that are facing by our customer when we are creating a product. Maybe they are thinking that our product has a high value, but when it comes to quality, it has a poor quality. Why our customers sometimes are disappointed to buy some product. So next is number 5, investor friendly and customer friendly materials. So dito naman sa number 5, the next thing is to visualize your concept as a complete business model and display it to the team or the potential customers. It can also be presented to potential investors because they have a huge stake in your business. So sa number 5, if you show a good attitude and you give your best to develop a product or business, and once you treat your customers and your customers and investor, and they see and if they see your on how you treat them, it is possible to convince them and maybe they can help us to develop our business. So last is prototype creation and blueprinting. Blueprinting of wireframing of product is creating well-defined steps of product or product navigation to show it to your potential customer or investors. So sa number 6 is kapag gumagawa po tayo ng negosyo, mas maganda yung may halimbawa kang ipapakita sa mga potential na customer mo at potential na investor para alam nila kung anong product na ilalabas or ititinda natin sa pamilyan. Kasi kapag meron kang halimbawa or prototype nga, mas makikilatis nila at mas mapag-aaralan nila kung karapat dapat ba nilang suportahan yung product or hindi. So kaya importante rin yung prototype creation and blueprinting. Yun lamang po at maraming salamat po.
Good day everyone, I'm Stephanie and I will discuss for today is all about economics and development studies. First, what is economics? Economics is a social science concerned with the production, distribution, and consumption of goods and service. So, in economics, they have 5 different types of economies. So, first is traditional economy. Traditional economy, it is a primarily concerned with the efficient, less cost allocation of scarce productive resources with the optimal growth of these resources over time so as to productive an ever-expanding range of goods and service. Next is political economy. Political economy goes beyond traditional economics to study, among other things, the social and institutional process through which a certain groups of economic and political elites influence the allocation of scarce productive resources now and in the future, either for their own benefits exclusively or for that of the largest population as well. Third is development economics. Development economics is concerned with the efficient allocation of existing scarce productive resources with their sustained growth over time. It must also deal with the economic, social, political, and institutional mechanism, both public and private, necessary to bring about rapid, at least by historical standard, and large-scale improvements in level of living for the people of Africa, Asia, Latin America, and the formerly socialist transition economies. So fourth is market economy. Market economy are based on the concept of free markets. In the other word, there is very little government interference. The government exercise little control over resources and it does not interfere with important segment of the economy. Instead, regulation come from the people and the relationship between supply and demand. And lastly, mixed economy. Mixed economy in economics, a market system of resource allocation, commerce, and trade in which free markets coexist with government intervention. A mixed economy may emerge when a government intervenes to disrupt free markets by introducing state-owned enterprise, such as regulation, subsidies, tariff, and tax policies. Alternatively, a mixed economy can emerge when a socialized government makes exemption to the rule of state ownership to capture economic benefits from private ownership and free market incentives. A combination of free market principle of private contracting and socialist principle of state ownership or planning is common to all mixed economy. What is development studies? Development studies is a multidisciplinary subject that focuses on the evolution of nation from political, cultural, geographical, and socio-economic perspective. It emerged as an academic discipline during the late part of 20th century, aimed growing concern with the third world economics struggling to establish themselves in the post-colonial era. Development studies is a diverse field of study that makes development has its central concern. Development is a contested concept which encompasses two broad set of concern. So the first concern is processes of social, cultural, ecological, economic, and political change. The second one is set of concern relates to the architecture focuses on the meeting certain goals often based around improving the well-being of people and sustainable use of natural resources. The nature of development studies. More developed countries, most commodity and resource markets are typically high imperfect. Consumer and producer have limited information. Major instructional change are taking place in both the society and the economy. The political for multiple equilibria rather than a single equilibrium is more common, and this equilibrium situation often prevail. Price do not equate supply and demand. In many cases, economic calculations are heavily influenced by political and social priorities, such as unifying the nation, replacing foreign advisor with local decision makers, resolving tribal or ethnical conflicts, or preserving religious and cultural tradition. At the individual's level, family, clan, religious, or tribal consideration may take precedence over private, self-interested, utility, or profit-maximizing calculation. Thus, development economics must be concerned with the economic, cultural, and political requirements for affecting rapid structural and institutional transformation of entire society in the manner that will most efficiently bring the fruits of economic process to the broadest segment of their population. Today, development economics is a field on the crest of a breaking wave with new theories and new data continuously emerging. These theories and statistic sometimes confirms and sometimes challenging traditional way of viewing the world.
Good day again. I am Sheila Visitasyan Balingasa, and I will be discuss to you the real meaning of development. So what is development? So development is a process that creates growth, progress, positive change, or the addition of physical, economics, environmental, social, and demographic components. So, development. When we say development, pag-unlad, may progress na nangyayari, di ba? So, kapag nag-create tayo ng mga, let's say, kapag gusto natin umunlad yung isang business natin, we think a lot of way that can help us to improve our business, right? Kaya may proseso tayong sinusunod para makuha o makamit natin yung gusto natin in the future, right? So, development is a process that create a growth or progress. So, the purpose of development is a rise in the level and the quality life of the population. So, in the creation or expansion of local regional income and employment opportunities without damaging the resources of the environment. So, development is visible and useful, not necessarily immediately, and includes an aspect of quality change and the creation of condition for a continuation of that change. So, development is useful, right? Like for example is if we have business, then our business became more it became more evolves. Umunlad siya lalo. So, dahil umunlad yung business natin, we can open at another business in another areas so that we can open a lot of um, work. We can provide works for the people. Kumbaga, makakapagbigay tayo ng opportunities kasi yung dating business natin is nag-improve siya. May progress, umunlad siya, di ba? So, from this point of view, development means an increase in the size or pace of the economy such that more products and services are produced. More products and services are produced. So, for example is in agriculture, nagtanim ka ng mais. So, ayan. Dahil yun yung business mo, of course, you are going to plan what you are going to do. Kung ito bang business mong mais is makakatulong sa'yo in the future. Kung ito ba ay magwo-work. Kaya kailangan mo magplano. You need to use your mind. You need to think carefully. Kasi hindi biro yung pagtatanim ng mais, hindi ba? Kaya kailangan mong pagplanuhan. So, kapag napagplanuhan mo yun ng mabuti, it will result for what? For a good condition. So, ibig sabihin, kapag napagplanuhan mo yun ng maayos, naalagaan mo ng maayos yung tanim mo, edi magpo-produce yun ng good quality products. At mas lalong makakatulong sa'yo kapag pinagbenta mo yun sa market. So, the aim of many conventional approaches to development has been to increase the size of the economy. Of course, kapag umunlad yung business mo, magtatanim ka na naman sa other areas na pagmamay-ari mo or nirerentahan mo kung ano man yan. E di mas lalong uunlad kasi alam mo kung paano yun palalakihin, kung paano yun maaalagaan. So, another is development is defined as the process of growth, like what I had said earlier, or a new information or an event. So, let's focus on the new information. So, dito, for example is, you are planning to plant, let's say, palay. Okay, sabi natin sa palay, At ngayon, may nakita kang area of land na gusto mong pagtaniman. And then, hindi ka sigurado kung tutubo ba yung tanim mong palay doon sa area yon. So, if you want to secure your business, you are going to ask the people who is nearby living on that area. Yung mga malapit na taong nakatira doon. Maaari kang mag-conduct ng survey or you can ask them kung ito bang areang ito ay makakabuti sa itatanim mo. Kung itong lupang ito ba ay mataba o hindi. Kasi when you are asking others, your knowledge became more complex in terms of the information that you want to know. Right? Kasi hindi naman masama yung pagtatanong sa ibang tao. Kung alam mo naman na makakabuti yun sa'yo, lalo na sa business mo. So, dahil sa pagtatanong mo sa mga taong matagal nang nakatira doon, dahil sa pagtatanong mo, may progress na magaganap. Kasi nalaman mong pwedeng taniman yung lupang iyon. Pwedeng mataba yung lupang iyon, kaya maaring hindi ka mamroblema sa pagtatanim ng palay. So, dahil dun sa pagtatanong mo, may progress, may development na nangyari, di ba? So, that is my report about the real meaning of development. So, I hope you learned something about our report. Thank you and have a nice day.